What's going on, Paranormal World? It's been a while since I uploaded a Ghost Adventure video, but hey, I thought a new Ghost Adventure special deserved a review discussion. And I'm gonna be honest, this past season of Ghost Adventures was just a snooze fest. Same old stuff and basically the same locations, and the locations wasn't even that haunted. It's just that Zach Bagans tried to force it on the fans to make it seem haunted. But anyway, Ghost Adventures has become redundant. And, it's like, hey, let's find a haunted place in Nevada, claim that demons are at that locations, and then one of the crew members act like they're possessed. I mean, it's rinse, wash, and repeat every single time. Leave a like down below if you agree with that. And the Ghost Adventures crew is just not what it used to be, man. I don't know, man. It just went downhill, and, I don't have that same passion like I used to watching those older episodes. I know y'all feel me on that. So anyway, this 2-hour Ghost Adventure special takes place in San Francisco Bay. More than 100 empty buildings on this deserted island. And in the introduction, Zach Bagans sits down with this woman activist named Felicia. Now, Felicia actually made an entire documentary about this island. Her family was apparently a part of this island and the history there. And this island dates way back to 1775, and later on in the 1800s, it was used as a military reserve installation. However, a lot of immigrants were kept there, and it was a prison-like environment, which was hell on earth, some would say. Now, Felicia explains what it was like from her family's perspective, and she goes on. And Zach Bagans asked her about suicides, and he asked her, "Do you think that suicides have happened here?" And she just shook her head. Now, I don't know. I feel like this brief interview, I felt like she was kind of guarded and she didn't really think that the place was haunted. I think that she want to reserve that history. I mean, she takes it serious or whatever. And I just feel like maybe this is just my opinion and, I'm just looking too deep into it. But it just seems like, she's more into the history of this place, reserving that history and not exploiting the island's history for a paranormal show. That's her attitude. That's what I seen. But, I could be wrong though. But that's the vibe I got from it. But anyway, Zach continues on and he talks to another local resident who used to work there. And he definitely claims that the island is haunted, considering he witnessed some paranormal stuff go on himself. Then he continues on to talk about this urban legend of this white witch who hunts this particular area that he was in. He also heard a loud blood screeching scream, and the way he described it, I believe him. I believe something like that happened, a spirit calling out for help or screaming for help. And at the end of the interview, he told Zach, "Hey, this place is extremely dark. Y'all shouldn't even be here. Y'all need to get up and go." And Zach, he correlates that to several things that happened to the Ghost Adventures crew traveling to the island. So Zach and Billy almost got into a wreck, and you see that in the opening segment of the episode. And also, Billy or Jay, I can't remember which one, but their car got broken into and they got robbed or whatever. They tried to steal some equipment, whoever tried to break in. And in addition to that, Zach said that someone in the crew had lost a close family member. So I guess what Zach Bagans was trying to say is, hey, all this stuff is happening to us. Maybe we shouldn't have came to this island because something is trying to tell us, hey, don't go to the island. But look, we're here anyway. Anyway, they continue to browse the island and they come across the Civil War hospital, which a park ranger said that a murder-suicide happened in the morgue down at that hospital. And then Billy, he pulls out the EMF detector and he captured, this spike. And, after that, Zach went to the car and he noticed that the memory cards and the batteries to the cameras, everything was completely drained. Which I did find that kind of unusual. I know that happens all the time, but, it is a correlation between, spirits and energy and them draining batteries, if you do your research on that, so I do find that kind of compelling, but I'm surprised they don't have some type. I know they have bag up batteries and stuff like that, but they should be extra prepared with stuff like that. Or I'm surprised like Bill Chappell hasn't came up with anything that can prevent that from happening. And then the park ranger introduced them to the ritual house, and honestly, this just seems shoehorned into the episode because what would a Ghost Adventure episode be without a ritual, demonic spirits and stuff like that. And the woman park ranger seemed to be exaggerating things to a whole nother level. And she admitted that they were painting, renovating this specific place, and it's called the Ritual House. I don't know how they came up with that name, but anyway, on the third floor of this Ritual House, there's demonic symbols perfectly painted on the walls. And why do I think that the park ranger, this woman park ranger, set all that up and she did that on her spare time? I mean, you got to look at it this way. It's only so many options a person can sneak onto this island, because the likelihood of someone else doing this is unlikely. They have this place guarded with security, not heavy security, but I'm pretty sure they have cameras set up, and they have someone walking the premises or whatever. But anyway, who would even try to swim or get a boat to go over there and do that at this specific place on the third floor? It just doesn't make sense. And for the artwork to be that proper and stuff like that, if somebody sneak to do something, it's gonna be sloppy, and it's gonna be like with a can of spray paint or something like that. This was like literally art. So I'm convinced that the woman park ranger, that's her spare room whenever she's on break or whatever, and she's doing that. She's painting and stuff. So I really think that the park ranger had something to do with those paintings or whatever. And now all of a sudden the episode shifts from innocent spirits of the immigrants suffering to Zach Bagans saying that it could be a demonic beast controlling the island. How convenient. So anyway, the lockdown begins, and you hear high-pitched noises, unexplained crash sounds. Aaron did a spirit box session, and he captured a male voice, and he also captured this tiny light anomaly at the same time that the male voice appeared. And, later on, Billy and Aaron began to argue, and they get frustrated over equipment that Jeff is trying to get working. Jeff, he's a part of the staff. And Jeff, he isn't feeling too good either. So, all three of them are just frustrated at the moment. And Jeff, he's staggering and stuff. And, I didn't think that was him getting possessed or anything, even though he tried to play it off like he was being possessed or wasn't feeling good. But the reason why Jeff wasn't feeling good, because he was down on the floor, bent over, trying to mess with that equipment, get that equipment working. And older people can't be bent over like that for a long time. That blood rushed to the head, and that just messed Jeff up, I believe. So I got a good laugh out of that. Anyway, nothing really happened on night one other than a can falling off a shelf, which, if that is true, that should be a top 10 compelling evidence captured in Ghost Adventures history. But as usual, they just glanced over that and they just showed us the replay. And instead of focusing on that like they should have, they focused on lower class EVPs. Like, I just don't understand how they can get so scared and they can go on and on about these EVPs, but ignore the real evidence. Like, if that would have happened in 2004, like similar things happened in that documentary, that Ghost Adventures documentary back in 2004, you remember they was all on the local news and everything, showing things that was happening, like stuff falling over, the brick flying. And now fast forward to 2023, and you got a can flying off a shelf and you just glaze over it. But EVP is more important. I just don't understand that. So on to night 2, they investigate the 1,000-man barracks, and the typical things happen. Mostly light anomalies, and the overreactions are incoming. Aaron claims that he's having a heart attack, but he's having a heart attack now, but he's constantly running around acting all crazy. Wouldn't that make it worse? But here's some evidence that raised my eyebrows. A wood board fell over, but I have a question about that. Out of all that space, why would one single wood board be standing up upright like that? Like, that was kind of weird, and it looked like it was staged. I could be wrong, but hey, it is TV. Overall, these new Ghost Adventure episodes and these Ghost Adventure specials, they focus and rely on technology way too much. Leave a like down below if you agree with that. And another thing that irks my nerve is, I forgot that device name, but the device that they be messaging or asking questions, and then, a word to come in on that device. It'll be like cemetery, graveyard, or whatever. And I'm like, why are y'all wasting y'all time on that stupid technology that we know is fake? Like, I just feel like it's a waste, and it's wasting time on the episode. Anyway, this whole entire special was definitely a lackluster episode, and I left underwhelmed. I don't know about y'all, but I wasted my 2 hours or whatever. It wasn't 2 hours because I watched it on HBO Max, so it was more like an hour and 30 minutes. But anyway, that's an hour and 30 minutes too long. So how do you all feel about this 2 hour special Devil's Island episode? Did you enjoy it? Do you actually think that the island is haunted? And also, I want to hear y'all thoughts about that can falling off the shelf, and also that wood board falling down. Do you think it was real? Also, I want to read all y'all thoughts about the direction that Ghost Adventures is heading in. Ghost Adventures is at the point of no return. I feel like it just feels like that, the show is just going downhill. It's no effort being put in, and it's just like I said earlier in this video, it's rinse, wash, and repeat. We need something new to spice this thing up. Anyway, if you love any and everything paranormal related, anything horror movie related, then make sure you check out my channel, check out my previous videos. I have a lot of paranormal content, specifically Ghost Adventures, so definitely check that out. And if you like my channel, man, just make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see every time I upload. As always, be safe, peace.